What's going on, everyone? That's my apologies, man. Something was going on with my mic. I haven't had audio this whole fucking time. I guess Daddy Garcia fucking with me. Man, I appreciate the call, big dog. I appreciate the call, man. Shit. I'm just gonna cut that out. It's all good. Sometimes that shit happen, man. Damn. Let me back up and say, hey, welcome everybody into the live stream, man. I got to get an intro again. You know, hey, it's Tuesday, man. It's the first day of December. We only have 1 month remaining in this year, so y'all stick with it. Stay tight. You know what I'm saying? Keep your prayers up, and let's do this. Let me go back to what I presented earlier. I got to put up the thumbnail again. Appreciate the call there, Mark. Real talk. So I put up the thumbnail because Danny Garcia, I have questions. Does Danny Garcia have the goods to be the welterweight champion? He's 36-2, 21 knockouts. You know what I'm saying? So I want to ask you, the listeners, to run through this with me, right? Because this is what it comes down to. Danny Garcia at super lightweight, he fought Kendall Hope for a vacant title. It was a secondary title, but he fought Kendall Hope for a vacant title. And then he ended up fighting Eric Morales for a world title, right? I'm not going to go into detail on what he fought him for. You know what I'm saying? Because it's not the point I'm trying to make right now. But he fought Eric Morales, who missed weight. And, he ended up defeating him. So next he fought Amir Khan, a champion at the time, wasn't undefeated, already been stopped in his career. And he ended up, getting the job done. So he was unified champion at super light. Then after defending his title several times, Danny Garcia tiptoed his way up to the welterweight division. Now, people always talk about how Adrian Broner, did this and did that. Adrian Broner, he skipped 140 and went to 47. And I'm going to tell you how I give him a little bit more credit than I give Danny Garcia. Outside of him being a 4-division champion. Peep this out. When Danny Garcia attempted to step up the welterweight, he had a catch weight. He had a catch weight at 141, I believe. Okay, with Rob Salker. And then he had another catch weight at 143 with Lamont Peterson. So he stepped in there with Paulie Malignaggi. The same Paulie Malignaggi who Adrian Broner had already defeated. He fought Paulie Malignaggi at welterweight. All right. As you're looking at the screen, he fought him at welterweight. Stopped him, I think, in the 9th round. And then he stepped in there with Robert Guerrero for the vacant. So what vacant title this makes? You got Kendall Hope, you got Eric Morales. Now he steps in there with Robert Guerrero at welterweight for a vacant WBC World Welterweight title. That's the 3rd vacant title, combined with the world and the secondary, right? At 140-47, right? So he defends it one time against Samuel Vargas. He steps in with Keith Thurman, who is the current WBA champion at the time, to unify the division, and he loses. He loses his title after one successful defense, right? Boom. He goes in there. He does what he's supposed to do with Brandon Rios. We knew he was going to knock him out. He steps in there with Sean Porter, gets another freaking title shot for the vacant WBC title, which used to be his, but due to freaking Keith Thurman being out the sport injured, guess who gets the call? Sean Porter, Danny Garcia. So he steps in there for a 4th time to fight for a vacant title. He couldn't get it done. He could not get it done. He lost a UD. He lost the SD to Keith Thurman and lost a UD to Sean Porter. So he goes in here after that Sean Porter fight. And in 2019, early quarter, the first quarter of 2019, he fights Adrian Granados for the WBC silver title. And long behold, he beats Adrian Granados and stops him. I think that was the first time Adrian Granados had been stopped But yet what it did was allow him to have cinco. That is the 5th vacant title that he fought for, from 140 to 47. Okay? I'm talking about secondary to world titles. He fought Adrian Granados for a vacant WBC Council silver welterweight title. All right? So check this out. He goes on to fight Ivan Redkach, which we don't, care too much about, and he wins a UD. Take that in consideration. Brings me back to Adrian Broner. When Adrian Broner stepped up he went past 40 and stepped to 47. I always hear people tell me, "Oh, who did he beat? Who this? Who that? And blah blah and all this other shit." Adrian Broner actually skipped 140 and came back and got a title. But when he stepped up to 47, he fought a champion. He fought a champion. AB fought a champion, didn't he? He fought Paulie Malignaggi and then dropped back down after, losing his title up there at 47. And he fought a junior welterweight and Khabib. Okay. We're not going to jump up and down for that motherfucking opponent, but we understand what I'm getting at. When Danny Garcia stepped up to the welterweight division, he fought for a vacant title. When he steps in there with Errol Spence this weekend, can Danny Garcia get it done? Does he have the goods to beat a welterweight champion? Does he have the goods, people? He has not defeated an active world champion in the welterweight division yet. He has not been able to take a belt yet. I'm talking strictly Danny Garcia. He has not been able to do it. To all the Danny Garcia fans heading into this weekend, I don't think he can get it done against Errol Spence. He came up short against Keith Thurman. He came up short against Sean Porter, who went in there and lost to Errol Spence, but you lost to Sean Porter. And now you're heading in there to face Danny Garcia to face Errol Spence, the guy who beat Sean Porter. Your saving grace in a little bit of this is the fact that he's coming off a car accident. That's a little bit of your saving grace there, Danny Garcia. That is what you have in the pocket. Say, we really don't know what Errol Spence we're going to get. Are we going to get man down Errol Spence? What are we going to get? I don't know. Nobody knows what Errol Spence we're going to get. But if you're looking at his virtual workout and his conditioning, he looks great. What's going on, Michael Johnson? What's good? What's good? Mark Nash in the building. Salute. Alexander, what is good? So my main point for making that is when he was coming up from 40 and he decided to come for 47, he tiptoed into the 147-pound division by fighting two catch weights against Salka and Peterson. And then he fought Paulie Malignaggi. And okay, giving him credit, he stopped Paulie Malignaggi. You know what I'm saying? That's what he did. Okay, cool. Paulie didn't have a belt at the time like he did when he fought AB. And AB had already beat him. And then for him to say, okay, let me go ahead and fight for this vacant title against Robert Guerrero. Boom. He wins a vacant title, defends it successfully once, loses it to Keith Thurman. Loses the vacant then title to Sean Porter. Lose that fight for the vacant WBC title to get his belt back. Sean Porter had never won the WBC title before. But Sean Porter picked it up. There's levels to everything when it comes to boxing. It's levels. It's level to fighting. It's level to boxing. It's level to a fighter's career. It's levels to who steps up at those opportune times in championship fights and perform and show out. And then there's lower levels of individuals who's good enough to come up short. And Danny Garcia is giving me this vibe as a 2-division champion that he may indeed be good enough to come up short when the big fights matter. What's going on, Colonel Local Sports in the building? I'm all for if someone believes any different. I'm all for, if there is a difference of opinion. I do. But I truly believe coming up this weekend from a fighter like Danny Garcia, I believe that he came up short against Keith Thurman, Sean Porter, and he's going to come up short this weekend against Errol Spence. Danny Garcia may be good enough to be second place. He may be good enough to hang around if by chance he's still here when Errol Spence vacate the titles, or Bud Crawford, whoever wins that undisputed. He may be good enough to say, you know what, now's my opportune time. Now I can, get back in the title hunt, and try to get one of these belts. But I don't see Danny Garcia defeating Errol Spence or Bud Crawford. He even said himself that he's been one of those fighters who hasn't did enough outside the ring to properly prepare him for this fight. For the big fights, for the big fights. And that's his fault. That's all his fault. But is he going to somewhat be good enough to be a boxer who has that name, but when it's time for him to step up against the champions, he come up short? Does he have the goods? That's what my thumbnail's about. Does Danny Garcia have the goods, man, to be the active welterweight champion? Does he have the goods? Because he's came up short. It's the third time a charm. Can Danny Garcia get it done? He came up short against Keith Thurman, came up short against Sean Porter. We're not even talking about Granados. We're not talking about Red Catch. We're not talking about Guerrero, Vargas. We're not talking about none of that shit. We want to know, with the champions in the welterweight division, does he have what it takes? I need some of his fans. I need some Danny Garcia supporters. I like DSG, man. Seriously, I like DSG. But when it comes to this boxing game right here and the big fight this weekend, this shit is huge. Can he have, stylistically, him and Errol Spence matches up nice. Real talk. They match up nice. I think they match up better than Sean Porter when he stepped there with Errol Spence. I believe so. Major Key Boxing in the building. What's good? What's good? Salute everyone in the live chat. He said Danny has shocked the world before. Just give me a little bit of flashback. What shocking moment are we talking about? Just help me. Just help me. What are we talking about? We talking about welterweight division? What shocking? What did he shock at the welterweight division? What moment was it? What fight? What name? What day? Who did he shock? We need for him this weekend to shock boxing, because right now Errol Spence is considered a boogeyman. He's coming off a car accident. And then that was basically after the fact that he came off a spectacular win against Sean Porter. A spectacular win. And a hellfire fight that could have been potentially FOTY. But thank God, he gave him a second time. And Errol Spence looked amazing in his virtual workout. He looked amazing, man. Like if what Derrick James is saying is absolutely true about he's hitting harder and he's more dedicated, focused, man, Danny Garcia's in trouble. Now, the one claim he has in his left breast pocket, his raw medals, is Danny Garcia has never been stopped. And you're not going to get the casualness. You're not going to get the temporary narrative from me to say, hey, Errol Spence might stop Danny. I can't see it. I can't see Errol Spence stopping Danny Garcia. Danny Garcia has a proven chin strap, a respectable freaking chin that he's been in there and took some power shots from Sean Porter, Keith Thurman. Man, he's took some power shots from the right people. So therefore, I'm looking at this like, okay, let's not sit up here and think Errol Spence is this knockout artist. You know, Mikey Garcia went the distance with him. You know what I'm saying? Sean Porter, even though he was dropped in 11, he went the distance. How dare I bring up Carlos Ocampo? No one really knew who he was before they pulled him out from the bottom of the barrel. And he went in there and landed 2-punch combination, then went to sleep. I mean, no one is talking about that night where Ambien filled the room. But the best thing about it was Errol Spence's walkout with Yellow Beezy. Where are the Danny Garcia fans? I put the link in the chat. Damn. I want to hear from the Danny Garcia fans. I want to hear something that can convince me that this fight this weekend will be closer than my doubt. I have undeniable drudging doubt that's going on. I'm perspiring doubt when it comes to Danny Garcia this weekend. I don't think he can get it done. I think he's good enough to be second when it comes to beating champions in the welterweight division. Seriously. This would be his third. This would be his third. Keith Thurman was the active WBA. Sean Porter was a former IBF. You know, I'm just saying, like, I'm talking about now it's time. It's now or never, Danny Garcia, for you to step up. We're not talking about Lucas Matisse. And yeah, people thought Lucas Matisse was going to go in there. He's irrelevant when it comes to this conversation right here. Even though that was a good fight, I'm just talking about him stepping up to the welterweight division. Absolutely. I agree, Mark. I agree. Ken in the building, salute to you. Welcome at Sports. Salute to the wrenches and salute to the chat. Smash the like button. It's much appreciated, man. Appreciate the love. Real talk. Major Keep Boxing, salute. But I just need some individuals up here to have faith. You know, does anybody have faith in Danny Garcia heading into this fight? Are you all going to pay for it? And if you're going to pay for it, why are you paying for it? Is it to see if Danny Garcia can actually get the job done? And, you know, or are you more interested in how Errol Spence is going to look up after the car accident? Come on, man, be honest. What are you most interested? What is your curiosity? What is piquing your curiosity? Is it more so to see how Errol Spence is going to look in there? Or if Danny Garcia can finally get the job done? Does he have what it takes? That's the big question everybody should ask themselves. That's an overwhelming question, man. That is the hugest motherfucking bubble that you can just put your thoughts in and say, damn, let me ponder this for a minute. Does Danny Garcia have what it takes to beat the big dogs in the welterweight division? This is the opportune time that he can get his belt back, the WEC, and look, he can pick up Sean Porter's old belt. This is the best time that he can elevate his career to a whole nother level. He can regain the belt that he lost with Keith Thurman. And also, he can get one back on Sean Porter on the belt that Sean Porter lost to Kell Brook. He can do that all in one night. You talking about Black Friday? Shit, let's talk about Black Saturday, because that's going to be a motherfucking cart. That's a shopping cart you want right there. You want to go in that motherfucker and get all the goods and come out, and you're going to be able to appreciate that shit for a long time. That's what we're going to see with Danny Garcia if he's able to go ahead and get this WBC and IBF title. Then it sets him up, right? Then it sets him up to potentially get a fight with the other two champions. It totally takes his career to a whole nother level. That's if there's no immediate rematch. And we all know if Errol Spence loses this fight, Danny Garcia is going to have to go back in for a rematch. I don't see him riding off into the sunset. And matter of fact, I'm just doing this hypothetical shit to make it interesting for media. Because really, like I said before, I don't think Danny Garcia has what it takes to defeat Errol Spence this weekend. I don't think. I know we don't get paid to think, but goddamn, an opinion is not based off fact. And you should just juggle that shit like that. Just juggle. Does anything about Danny Garcia's skill set has the potential to get Errol Spence problems? It does, people. His skill set and the way he boxes, yes, it does. Absolutely. Does Danny Garcia have the power, enough power to kind of sting Errol Spence, so we can kind of see if Errol Spence can, take a shot after the vehicle accident? Yes, DSG has that option. He does present that power as an equalizer. DSG can box. You know what I'm saying? Whenever he wants to stay in the pocket and trade, that's DSG. He ain't a punk. That's one thing about DSG. He is not a punk. When he wants to settle in and you want to step in the phone booth with him, he'll give you what you're looking for. All 9 digits, all 5-piece with a motherfucking side of tea and some biscuits on that. He would give you everything you're looking for. But is his ring IQ smarter? Does he have more ring IQ than Danny Garcia? I'm not sure who that is in there, but you need to show your face. I don't know why people pop back here with people named that's been on the panel or whatever before, and they're not showing their face. It don't matter. If you ain't showing your face, I don't know why you even popping in back here. But anyway, I was hoping that was a Danny Garcia supporter. I just want some of the Danny Garcia fans to come up here and, let it be known. Sir Ken say, yes, it will be a great fight against 2 of the top 147. I am past the accident, but I want to see how he fights against Danny. Oh, it's all good, Major Key. It's all good. I like Danny and believe he can pull off a big win on the right night, but I don't anticipate that on Saturday. And speaking of that, what is the right night for Danny Garcia? Because he has had the right nights. He has had the perfect nights. I don't know who you are, bro. Like, usually you show your face. So you came up here. If I see your face, we good. I have no problem. But I don't have time for trolls to come in here, man. Real talk. I don't have time for it. Ken say, is Errol going to box more or bang more? Or will he do something different? Damn good point there, Ken. That's a fight plan. Look, both sides are going to come in there with a fight plan. But I've just seen Danny Garcia when I was expecting him to go in there and show out against Sean Porter, he had a very marginal fight plan. You know what I'm saying? He had a marginal offensive strategy. And that to me, that tells me that something isn't right with whoever's in his camp or how he's processing, making those changes against the opponent, such as the champions. Like even with Keith Thurman, that was a damn good fight. But why couldn't he do enough? I hear you, bro. I hear you. Hey man, I don't have no problem. You can jump on, man, as long as you show your face. Like I said, it's people that's done use your name and everybody else's name, and they not who they say they are. It's all good, bro. But I need for him in this fight right here to show us something different, because we've pretty much know that Errol Spence is proven. We saw it with Kell Brook, so to speak, but we really seen it with Sean Porter. We seen that Errol Spence can get the job done. Errol Spence can get the job done. I think heading into this fight, both of these fighters have had enough time to see each other. There's enough footage out there. There's enough fights to study at welterweight. It's ample amount of reel to spin. You know what I'm saying? So when it comes down to it, it's going to be interesting. It's ample. Hey, drop the volume on the live stream. What's going on, Easy Work, man? I just had to know if it was you or not, bro. You can drop back to the avatar. I just had to check and see if it was you, bro.
Oh, okay. All right. I ain't been on in a minute, man. I was kind of confusing.
Yeah, it's all good, man.
You know what it is. Okay. How you doing today, man? You all right?
I'm chilling, man. What you been up to? What you got for me, man? I know you ain't gonna pull up for no reason. You know what I'm saying? What you got for me?
I know you want. I made my prediction on this fight, bro, and I had Errol winning twice until I just came back and I had to think about Danny Garcia. Danny Garcia ain't no pushover, man, and I just think that his experience, will be enough to probably beat Spence. I don't know why. I know Spence won't knock him out though.
What are you saying? Championship experience or just boxing experience in general?
Just experience and who he's fought throughout the years. I think that'll be, helpful in the Spence fight, because I think a lot of people keep comparing what Sean Porter did against Errol Spence, but I feel that Danny Garcia is a better boxer and a more powerful puncher than Sean Porter. So I think that's gonna make a major factor in the fight, though.
I think championship experience, Errol outdid, Danny Garcia, in my opinion. What you think? I mean, he went in there and he was able to defeat Kell Brook, and he was able to go in there and defeat Sean Porter straight up. You know what I'm saying? Ooh, but when Danny Garcia stepped in there to unify the titles against Keith Thurman, he came up short. He fought for the vacant title against Sean Porter. He came up short. So what's going to be different with Errol Spence? The accident? I mean, what we looking at?
I mean, with Errol Spence, I mean, one, we do got to take into fact, they say the accident. He has been off in almost like a year, so he might have a little ring. Danny, I think his last fight was in May, April, something like that. So he'll be the sharper fighter. So I just see this. I see this fight gonna be going to the scorecards, man, and I think Danny gonna get robbed. That's my opinion. Because Danny, you gotta go back and fight the caliber opponents, Errol Morales, Zab Judah. You know what I'm saying? I know these fighters are not Errol Spence, but he done went through the fire with these people. He done learned in the ring with these people. So I think all that will come into play that night. Now, just because he has that experience, I'm not saying that he will defeat Spence. But I'm saying with all he's been through and all he's fought, I could see Danny pulling this out.
Wow.
And I'm not saying now. I actually said that in my opinion, Danny was gonna knock Errol Spence down, not out. I think that Danny may catch Errol Spence throwing a punch at the wrong time, and I know that Errol Spence can only be really caught when he's opening up with his arsenal. That's the best time to go at Errol. Other than that, you really ain't gonna hit Errol because he do got a good tight defense, and he leans back with that jab, making distance. So it's gonna be a hell of a fight, man. But I just think Danny, from his power, that's gonna change that fight. That's just my opinion.
Hey, I hear you, man. I'm looking at his resume right here. Out of all the champions that's up there, in the welterweight division,
he got that resume.
He has a pretty decent resume, primarily at 140. You know what I'm saying? His resume at 47 is okay. You know what I'm saying? For real. His resume at 47 is okay. Mm-hmm. But I'm looking at it like this, easy work. I'm looking at it like this. The decisions he's made in the championship fights before now, is it possible for Danny Garcia to finally get it right? To dial it in the right way, man, because he's been on record as saying he just didn't do enough to prepare himself in the fights that he lost. So if you fought Keith Thurman and Sean Porter and you're saying you didn't do enough, then what you plan on doing this time around? And then not to mention,
exactly, that's a good point to make too. Exactly. What's gonna be so
Go ahead.
Oh no, I'm sorry. I was just saying, I didn't mean to cut you off. Go ahead.
No, I was just saying, like, you actually believe Danny Garcia may drop Errol Spence, and then I can't even sit up here and tell you, okay, that's impossible. It's possible because he has decent, respectable power, Danny Garcia. He does. But being that I have never seen Errol Spence dropped, that it seems further and further away from me saying, hey, it's going to happen this weekend. You know what I'm saying? I haven't seen Errol Spence even come close to even barely buckling his knees and tapping his glove like Sean Porter, bro.
I got one for you. When he fought this fighter named Latte, I think it was his 15th fight. He caught Errol Spence opening up and hit him with, I think, a left hook or a right hook. Errol Spence got hit so hard that he balled up and went down. He went down a little, like dropping a look and bent over. That's the first time. That's the reason why I said that the only way really to catch Errol Spence is to catch him while he's in his offense. And I actually saw that from when he fought Latte. Latte caught Errol Spence throwing a combination and caught him with a hook and shook Errol Spence up, and Errol Spence just balled up and went down. Now he didn't hit the mat, but if there would have been 30 more seconds or 20 more seconds left in that fight, you can go and view it. He would have knocked Errol Spence out. He hurt the hell out of Errol Spence. I think if I'm correct, it's a fighter named Latte. If you go and look at it, it's between Errol Spence's 14th, 15th, or 16th fight. It's a African looking guy, or like he from overseas. You know what I'm saying? Haitian or something like that. He dark skinned. Mm-hmm. He caught him, and that's why I believe that Danny has a chance, because Danny has the power. He has the timing to catch Errol Spence opening up. Not saying he gonna beat him, but I just believe that Danny is a better fighter than Sean Porter. He'll give a better fight than Sean Porter, in my opinion.
If he's a better fighter than Sean Porter, why the hell he couldn't beat Sean Porter for the vacant WBC? Easy work. Come on, man.
He fought the wrong
fight. Come on, Shawty. Let me know, Shawty, man. Come on.
He fought the wrong fight. He fought with the problem with most opponents when they go against Sean Porter, they let Sean Porter dictate the fight. Danny Garcia, he can box. He can move too. I actually seen him move around the ring against Matisse when he defeated Matisse. But for some reason, he wanted to stand there and fight Sean Porter's fight. Yeah, but he could have easily boxed and beat Sean Porter in my opinion, but that's neither here nor there because he didn't. But you know, I just feel like he'll be a better opponent for him than Sean Porter was against Spence.
You know, it's not.
Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's not far fetched for Danny Garcia to go in here and land a very credible punch to make, you know, wake Errol Spence up. You know, it's possible because Errol Spence is dare to get hit. Let's not forget the fact that he was in there with Kell Brook. He took all that punishment, and then even Sean Porter landed on Errol Spence. We know Errol Spence can be hit, but as Danny Garcia has the ring IQ to know when to change it up if he has to walk Errol Spence into his shot. Does he have enough smarts to go in there against Errol Spence and work for the knockout? If when I say work for the knockout, don't just go in there and continue to try to land the bombs early. You know what I'm saying? Just take your time and allow the fight to work itself out. Like, it's 12 rounds. Danny Garcia knows this. He knows Errol Spence can box. He knows how smart he is. But if you're going to go in there and sit down on that right hand and try to knock out Errol Spence early, I don't know if it was his pops, but I heard somebody said that the best way to go in here and find out if Errol Spence is okay is to rush him right off the back, to give him everything right off the back in the early rounds to see if he's 100%.
I don't think that's a smart idea. I don't think that not against these professionals. I mean, this ain't Nate Robinson versus Jake. I mean, to run out there and throw your whole load in the first rounds against an experienced fighter like Danny Garcia is crazy. You know,
I can't even believe you even compared Nate Robinson to a boxer, dog.
I'm just saying, like
Nate Robinson didn't know shit about boxing, dog.
I know. I'm just saying, for to say that Errol Spence just should go out there and just give it his all the first round. Hell no. This Danny Garcia, people, I don't know what people think Danny Garcia is.
I think people respect Danny Garcia's boxing ability. Real talk. We respect that shit. Even me, I respect Danny Garcia's boxing ability. But when you get fights like this, where first of all, Errol Spence said I wasn't going to get a soft touch returning from the car accident. He was adamant about that. I'm not going to get a soft touch. But yet he picks Danny Garcia, who just came off a loss, several months from Sean Porter. Now he gets his shot at Errol Spence for the unified titles. And I'm saying, like, a lot of people, like, this might be a semi-soft touch for freaking Errol Spence.
Hello?
Yeah, I'm here.
Oh.
I say this might be a semi-soft touch. This might be a semi-soft touch in exaggerated form for Errol Spence. Because, he's coming off the loss to Sean Porter, but yet I can't sit up here and tell you, okay, well, after that, he defeated Adrian Granados and he defeated Ivan Redcatcher. I don't care about that shit.
Man,
I'm just saying his championship attendance.
Yeah.
He hasn't got it done.
And like you were saying, can Danny Garcia go out there and do what's necessary and adapt in this fight and do what's necessary to win? And that's one of the things that I've been worried about. Now, like, I've seen him change in fights, like, to bring it up again, Matisse fight. I've seen him do what's necessary to win, but will he be willing to go in there and really go to war with Errol Spence?
Yeah, he about that. He about that smoke. Come on, we know Danny Garcia all about the phone booth, close quarters. We know that.
I've really been worried, and this is why I think that he didn't go do good against Keith Thurman, not giving him an excuse, not giving him one excuse against Sean Porter either. I think Danny Garcia invested his money well. I think Danny Garcia really isn't in love with boxing anymore. I think he just does it to keep money flowing and to take care of his family. Danny Garcia doesn't cross me like, it's in his eyes to me. It's like he just don't love it no more. Not giving him an excuse, but it's like he don't have the passion no more.
That's a bit hypocritical because you going for him to possibly goddamn defeat Errol Spence, dog.
Yeah.
But now you saying he may not have the love. Man, you gotta have love for this shit to go in there.
I know
Against
exactly.
man down, dog.
I mean, I'm going for him, but I'll be, you know what I'm saying? I'll be lying if I didn't say certain things that I see. You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
like, these are just certain things that's worrying me when I watch them, and I'm watching the PBC, you know, upcoming, you know, when they showing them, you know, training and stuff. And I'm like, Danny, that he don't got that fire to me. He's saying it, but he say that all the time, like you said before. You know, oh, I'm ready, I'm this and that, I'm gonna go shock the world, I'm gonna do this. And you know, he becoming an age. Danny on his way to being a gatekeeper. If Danny don't win this fight, he on his way to being a gatekeeper. I think he probably got one more big fight and he lose. He a gatekeeper. He gonna be an Adrian Brown, in my opinion.
Damn. But Danny Garcia is a strong gatekeeper. If that's it, you know what I'm saying? He's a strong gatekeeper now.
Yeah. Trust me, he's the king of gatekeepers if he becomes one. But I mean, what's next for him?
Well, I mean that's a good question, because if he loses the Errol Spence, he won't get the Manny fight, and he definitely won't get the Crawford fight. So he's going to be hanging around to see if Errol Spence or Terrence Crawford is able to unify the welterweight division. And then what the rumor mill is that, you know, Errol Spence planning on moving up next door to take on the 54 division. Okay. So therefore, we might get the titles unleashed. You know, we let go of the titles, then there may be an opportunity for Danny Garcia to jump back in there and get a belt.
That's what I do not want to happen. I do not want the belts to. I don't want Errol Spence to leave 147 and the belts to get sent out. I do not want. Then we got to start all the way back over.
Okay, hold that thought. That's a good point you made. Hey, Jacko Fitness AWD approved, man. What is good? UGK in the building. Salute. Solid brothers right there. Go make sure you check him out, man. So why you don't want that to happen, man, if he has a bigger fight? Because I said this. I think I'm one of the only ones who said it thus far, but check this out. Easy work. What about this right here? What about if Jermell Charlo unifies? He beats Patrick Teixeira. He becomes a unified, undisputed 154-pound champion. Therefore, his intentions are either give Erickson Lubin or somebody a shot at the titles. We don't know. And just say he get the titles, he have another fight. Him and Errol Spence are in the same stable. Now, if Errol Spence and Jermell Charlo are unified champions, don't you think the conversation is going to be, okay, Jermell, let's do this the right way, because I'm planning on moving up to 54. So what if by chance he moves up at the right time for a vacant title shot when Jermell vacates those 154-pound titles and move up 60, that is tailor-made for freaking Errol Spence to go up there and pick up a title right off the back. I mean, you don't think that would be beneficial for him to vacate these welterweight titles and keep it moving? No.
He got to give us that Crawford fight. Ain't no running. See, this is the thing, and I gotta say this.
I mean, Errol, I said for undisputed, there's no way he can move up without
Errol Spence knew he would get. Okay, I know. I'm saying I'm just speaking like he has to give up this Crawford fight. See, Errol Spence knew that he was getting bigger before he even went and fought Danny Garcia. So if you knew you was on your way out the weight class, it's hard for you to make 147, as I think he's gonna come and say, then why did you go and fight a fighter that did not have a belt when you could have won that Terrence Crawford? See, I think this moving up process is a dope move to get away from Crawford, because you knew you were big. We all known that Errol Spence has been big the entire time at welterweight. Now all of a sudden, when it's getting closer to y'all fight, now you can't make the weight anymore. But you going around fighting no belt Danny Garcia.
No, I was more so saying that I believe that let me propose a question to you again, Easy Work. I'm speaking as if Errol Spence is able to unify for undisputed at the welterweight division.
Oh, okay. Did you say everybody?
Yeah, he beat everybody. Just say he
Okay.
go over there, he get Bud. Boom. He is the undisputed champion, unified welterweight.
Mm-hmm.
Isn't that a great time for him to move up to 54? While Jamel Charlo potentially
if
can be
he run through
unified
good,
champion? Huh?
Yeah, if he should come through and he beats Bud, hell yeah. He knock out the whole welterweight division. Yeah, I mean, moving up is the best next thing.
Okay.
That'd be
So
great.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. You know, you're talking about two stablemates who will be unified champions. So
Yeah.
Of course they're gonna have some type of conversation to say, okay, what you plan on doing it, and when you plan on moving to 60. And then Arrow, you know, okay, I plan on moving to 54. They're gonna try to do that shit perfect. The reason why is because Arrow has only been a champion at one division. So it has to be a master move. It has to be the knight on the chessboard to for him to get rid of those titles at 54 and make it accommodating for Errol Spence moving up to dang junior middleweight, because then it allows Errol Spence to fight for a title right off the back and become a 2-division champion.
True. That's the way you put it. Yeah, that's great for him. That would be great for her.
I think that master plan is in effect. What's going on, Connor Local Sports in the building?
Man, you had to hop on, man, because Spence is not ducking Crawford.
No.
Crawford been had his chances, man. And you know what I'm saying? He had chances.
What chance?
I think he misunderstood what I said about
unified. All right. Hold on. Let me go ahead and answer his first question, because he had a mandatory chance when he first moved up from 140 to 147. He could have been Errol Spence's mandatory because he was yes.
For what title?
For the IBF.
Terrence Crawford went up for no IBF. Terrence Crawford went up for the WBO title, bro.
He went up for the WBO. He had the pick of the litter. Him being the undisputed champion at 140 gave him a choice to fight any of the champions at 147. They chose Horn.
Is this your opinion, or this is
those are facts?
These are facts, because I've never heard this before.
These are facts.
Because usually when the WBO titleist leaves and moves up to the welterweight or any other division, the first shot they get is at the WBO title, because they had it at that other weight class.
He was undisputed. Was he not undisputed?
Huh?
He was undisputed, wasn't he?
Yes, he was undisputed.
Okay, then he had the pick of the litter. That's my point. He could have chose any of the champions at 147.
Errol Spence never said anything about him fighting Terrence Crawford or picking Terrence Crawford if he came up. He said, no, matter of fact, Errol Spence said, when he wins a title, I will fight him. Correct?
I'm just telling you what the rules are. If you're moving up in weight and you're undisputed, you got the pick of the litter. You become the mandatory if you ask for it.
No, you just said that he had a chance. Isn't it true that Errol Spence was on ESPN and he told the public he will fight him when he wins the title? Correct?
Yes, he did.
Okay.
And then he offered him 60-40 last year, and he said no.
Why would he take 60-40 when they both risked their lives?
Because Errol Spence is the bigger draw. He is the A side, whether anybody likes it or not.
Why? I mean, why is he the A side? Just how is he the A side? Just explain it.
He is a unified champion right now, ain't he?
Yes, he is. Is he the pound for pound?
He's on the list with him.
Has he won multiple divisions?
Doesn't matter. We're talking about 147.
So you're saying that Errol Spence deserves 60-40 because he holds 2 titles?
Well, what specifically he said recently here, like the last couple of weeks, was 60-40, but first we got to sit at the table. That means I'm offering 60-40, but we can sit at the table and negotiate. And then what Crawford say? No, 60-40 my way.
Whenever we've seen 60-40, what has happened? Whenever we've seen a fighter come out and say they want 60-40, the fight never happened. Anthony Joshua did the same thing to Deontay Wilder.
I'm just saying, man, he's the bigger draw.
I'm just saying, too.
He's going to sell more pay-per-views than Crawford ever will.
How? All of them are doing
as of now, he has.
Yes, his numbers are higher, but Terrence Crawford is the most viewed boxer.
He ain't selling no pay-per-views.
Ain't none of them really selling pay-per-view.
Come on, bro. Come on. You keep stop it, bro. You know that.
In reality, bro, all pay-per-view numbers are down. This is not Floyd Mayweather, Golden Boy, Oscar De La Hoya money they get. 600,000 buys, 300,000 buys is not record-breaking numbers. Now, he getting it. I'm not taking nothing away from him. His numbers are higher than Terrence Crawford. Over 200,000 more views. But how does that play into him getting 60-40 when his resume is not better? He hasn't accomplished more.
Whoa, his resume is not better. Shoot, Terrence Crawford's resume ain't a proven resume. Who's he beat?
Who is Errol Spence beat?
Come on, bro.
No. Who is Errol Spence beat?
He's an IBF champion. He's a unified champion right now at 147. Come on, man.
No. Who has he beat? You say his resume is better than Terrence Crawford.
Look, I can just name you one right now, Porter, that Terrence Crawford won't even fight. You think anybody on Terrence Crawford's resume right now could beat Sean Porter? You name me one opponent on Bud Crawford's resume that could beat Sean Porter.
Brooke just did. Brooke?
That was 4 years ago, 3 to 4 years ago. We're talking about right now.
Brooke?
You think Brooke could beat
somebody
right now?
Beat Sean Porter. Brooke?
No way, bro. The Brooke right now would not beat Porter. The one right now, 3.5, 4 years later, would not be Sean Porter right now. No.
Okay. But you say Errol has a better resume. Errol only got caliber opponents at 147. This all he done fought was Brooke and Porter. Lamont Peterson was a 140-pounder originally. Chris Algieri. Chris Van Heerden? Really? Damn. Yeah. And I ain't hating on Spence. I just speak facts now. My favorite fighter is Keith Thurman. But when the way they are doing Terrence Crawford, man, is wrong, man. It's clear to see this man don't want. Errol Spence is not afraid of Terrence Crawford. No, they've been fighting since children. But do he think he can beat him in his head? I think so. Because he come out. I'm going to fight him when he get a title. 60-40. He across the street. I'm my own boss. Oh, but talk to Al Haymon. Come on, man. It's just common sense, you know? It's just common sense. I just want to see the fight.
We all want to see the fight, but y'all gotta understand that Spence is the A side. He said 60-40, but we gotta sit at the table first. Crawford's team has not been willing to sit at the table. So what do they do from now? What do they do now?
Why would you sit at a table when somebody already is downplaying how much? Basically, you sitting up here telling me how much money I deserve, and we both finna go in there and risk our lives.
He's the unified champion at 147, player. Come on.
And then Terrence has a belt at 147.
One.
Yeah. One. What's the difference? They both. That's
one,
why
and it does less numbers. There's the A side for a reason. There's always been an A side and a B side in boxing.
So because hold on. Hell no. Terrence Crawford, since he's been at 147, has knocked out every opponent since he's been there, moving up in weight. He's the pound-for-pound king, divisional champion. You mean to tell me just because Errol Spence has one more title, he deserves to be the A side, has a lesser resume?
I don't believe he's got a lesser resume, but that's neither here nor there, man. What we're looking at is who the A side is. According to the numbers, if you look at pay-per-view numbers, man, let's take Tank Davis for an instance. Who brings the most money in, whether you think of his resume or not? What are you gonna, you know what I'm saying?
See, that's that Duck Nation. that's
not a Duck Nation. Those are facts. There's always an A side and a B side.
Every time it's time for a potential fight. Every time it's time for a fight that the public wants to see, that we demand, that all we keep hearing about is the fact that somebody don't make enough money.
Is that not what the negotiations are always about? There's got to be an A side and a B side. Do you not agree with that?
Whenever
who to you is the A side in this fight?
Whenever you hear A side and B side, that ain't nothing but a problem. The 60-40 and the A side and B side, that ain't nothing but problems to hold up negotiations.
Well, it's been going on the whole time since boxing's
It's been going on for years. And every time you have heard it, you have seen one fighter not really want to fight another. 60-40 is nothing but a power play to say, I don't want to fight you for real. Just like pay-per-view numbers, just like I make more money than him, just like I'm more viewed than him. Make the fucking fight. I don't give a fuck who make what. I want to see the fight. I don't give a fuck if Errol Spence, I don't give a fuck if Terrence Crawford fought in his mama backyard.
Man, I don't know, man. I'm looking at Terrence Crawford's resume right now. He I don't see how you say it's stronger. I don't think he's beat anybody that's really relevant, man. With the, I don't know, man. I don't know.
Excuse me, Colonel. So are you basing easy work? Are you basing EJ's resume off Mikey Garcia moving up 2 divisions? And then are you factoring in his last fight with Sean Porter? Besides that, how do we equate, the quality of opponents? Like, what are we looking at?
Actually, I forgot about Mike Garcia. That was such an irrelevant ass fight.
Yeah, so okay, I agree. So then you have Sean Porter. You have Sean Porter, right?
Yes.
So
and now he's about to fight Garcia.
Yeah, he's
which
about
I don't
to fight.
believe anybody on Terrence Crawford's resume will be Garcia. So with the exception of no exceptions at all.
Let's say what Sir Ken put up there. Crawford beating 147-pounder in the top 5. So we know Sean Porter, when it came to top 5 welterweight, okay, that was cool for Errol Spence. That gave him a little bit of edge in that perspective. But we all know how the ranking systems go. They can move and juggle and shuffle people around easy. But outside of Sean Porter, who else is it for Errol Spence? Who else is it?
Who is it for Terrence Crawford? Y'all keep throwing it one way. Well, who is it for Terrence Crawford?
No, I'm not debating the fact. The resumes are pretty similar because you just put Sean Porter in there. That's one name. That's one name, really. That's just one name for Errol Spence. But like he said earlier, Terrence Crawford has stopped. He has stopped his opponents. The competition is not as good. I agree with you on that, Kano. The competition, Jose Benavidez, but
one-legged.
I also have to give him this edge there, Kano. How many undefeated fighters stepped in there with Terrence Bud Crawford since he's been in welterweight? Jeff Horn was undefeated. Jose Benavidez was undefeated.
Man, oh my!
Mean Machine was undefeated.
Yeah.
Green Machine, okay. Green beans, okay.
Yeah, bro. I mean, I know you.
Man, y'all are ridiculous.
DFTV said that. I know green beans, but check this out, man. Jeff Horn, man. Jeff Horn, all them cats, Joseph Benavidez, man, green beans, man, all them motherfuckers are undefeated. All of them. Now we look at Mikey Garcia. He moved up. We can't throw him in there. Sean Porter wasn't undefeated.
Scotty, but do your homework. Do your homework. I want hold on. About the resume. Forget about the resume, man. Do your homework. If you are the champion at the weight below and you're coming up, you can request to be the mandatory to the champions at the next weight level.
With you on that.
Okay, that is a fact right there. And he could ask for Earl Spence.
But Kano, to be honest, I don't think he would have fought. I don't think Errol Spence would have fought Terrence Crawford moving up to that division because he told him to get a belt. He did. He told him to get a belt.
Scotty, you know that him being undisputed at 140. Come on, you know better than anybody in here, man. If he would have went up there and asked to be mandatory for the IBF, which Errol Spence had, Errol Spence either had to fight him or vacate. You know those are facts.
Correct. But look, how smart is it for him to say, okay, let me go over here to Jeff Horn and fight him and get a belt so I can be more, so I can have more equity in the welterweight division. Just say if he would have went over there to Errol Spence and Errol Spence bullshitted around.
You know why I say it's a mistake? Because he could have went straight to Errol Spence, who was on the PBC side, would have been a mandatory. Spence would have had to fight him. Now, if he would have beat him, he could have went back around to Jeff Horn because Jeff Horn was top ranked. He easily went and got back that one.
Wasn't there across the street theory still standing then? So
how not understanding, bro? You are not understanding. You are being ignorant right now.
Mark, How is he gonna come from, like you just said, he could have came at Errol Spence for that title. But remember, the whole problem why this fight can't be made because he's across the street. So wouldn't that have been a problem too? Him coming from undisputed and then coming up to 147? Would the across the street factor still stand?
You're not understanding, are you?
No,
he would either have to fight Crawford or vacate. Those were his two options. Had Crawford asked for that as a mandatory, he could have requested that to be a mandatory, and it would have been in place. He would have either had to fight him or vacate. That's the only two things that would have happened.
I'm making a simple point. At that time, since this fight has been boiling,
the street wouldn't have mattered.
All we have heard is that this is across the street. So you're saying that when he left 140, he should have went after Errol Spence and got his title, even though we just verified that Errol said he could get a title and then he'll fight him, right? So don't you think that the across the street talk, the theory that they've been giving all the fans, wouldn't that still be in effect at that time?
I get what Kano's saying too. You know, he would have been forced to fight Terrence Crawford.
That's all I'm saying.
He would have been forced to do that because he had the pick of the litter as being undisputed at 40. I get what you're saying, but then I look at it like this: Errol Spence said, "Get a fucking title." So I'm like, you know the politics of boxing,
though, Scotty. It would have been up to Spence.
He went and got a title.
Yeah, you're right, because he would have had to fight Crawford.
Exactly. He would have had to fight or vacate. The street side wouldn't have mattered.
He went and got a title.
Oh,
we still ain't seen no fight.
You're not listening to shit, bro.
No, listen to this. He went and got the title, correct?
But what he's saying, he coming up from undisputed, and he would have been the mandatory. He would have had Errol Spence would have had to fight Terrence Crawford if he would have chose that route to go to IBF and say, okay, now I'm here at your front door. You don't have nowhere to run. He wouldn't have had a title. He would have had to wait to fight Spence for a title.
Mm-hmm.
So he just chose to be, okay, I'm going to go get a motherfucking title. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go get a title. I'm going to fight Jeff Hoyne. So maybe that can get me closer to fighting Spence in another route. But if he was moving up to 40 and he became the IBF Mandy, that Mandy would have forced Errol Spence to fight or get vacate that title, just like
which is what I wish he would have did. You know why I wish he would have did that?
Why haven't we got the fight yet then? Explain for the air for
ask Bob Arum.
No, don't ask
you
Bob.
You gotta ask Bob Arum. It's not even on Terrence Crawford.
No, Errol Spence said when he gets a title, I'll fight him. Why the fight ain't happening?
You need to blame Bob Arum, man. If you know the business, you know Bob Arum is not want. He does not want this fight to happen. Those are facts.
Bob Arum
all over the internet.
Bob Arum didn't state that. Errol did.
All right. Okay.
Didn't Errol say that?
Bro, I'm telling you, Bob don't believe Terrence could beat Spence. I'm telling you what I know.
Why is Bob promoting that fight more than Al Heyman is?
What you mean? They're looking for Pacquiao. What are you talking about?
Bob keep telling the world that Terrence Crawford will beat Spence. He just did it after the big fight.
He keep talking that, but they're going after Pacquiao. They're not trying to make no damn business with Spence.
But also Bob has mentioned that there's no way this fight can take place without a live gate. So therefore, Bob may be procrastinating and putting the fight off. But he has been on record as saying there's no way that Terrence Crawford, Errol Spence can happen without a live gate.
Yeah, the money is a major issue, especially right now, because that is a major fight, man.
And they would have a live gate where? Dallas, Texas. Now, tell me who gets 60-40 now?
It don't. What does that have to?
Bro, come on, bro. I can't even have this conversation with you, bro. You're not seeing things for what they are.
Because y'all keep trying to base, all the Spence fans keep trying to base everything off the fact that he deserves this because if it's in Texas, it don't matter about
it don't even matter where it's at. He's still gonna be the A side.
It don't matter about why. What the whole point I'm making is why it just can't be 50-50 so we can have the fight.
They gotta sit and negotiate for that to even be thrown out there, right?
Well, what? That's exactly what I'm saying. That 60-40 shit is bullshit.
So he said 60-40, but we have to sit at the table, which means I'm willing to negotiate. Terrence Crawford is one who replied 60-40 or there's no fight. 60-40 my favor.
Terrence didn't say that.
Yes, he did. He said it on his IG Live.
He said 60-40. He
there's
deserves
no
it.
fight.
If anybody deserves it, he deserves it.
Oh my God.
Hey, I have to agree that Terrence Crawford did say if it's 60-40 is in his favor.
It should be if they're gonna do it like that. If it goes, look.
Terrence Crawford say if it's 60-40, it's gonna be in my favor.
Y'all tell me if I'm wrong.
And if it ain't 60-40 in his favor, what did he say, Scotty? You didn't hear the lie?
I ain't fighting.
I always remember the A side being the person who's accomplished more and who's did more. Am I wrong? And who was the king? And who was the pound for pound?
Easy work. The caveat off that point, Terrence Crawford say if it's 60-40, it better be in my benefit. If it's not, we ain't fighting. He did say that.
Okay, y'all already stated that. What I'm saying is, since this A side, B side stuff came up, hasn't the A side always been the fighter who's accomplished more in the ring?
Not always.
Since when?
You gotta look
How
at the
can you be the A side when you ain't did more? How can you be the A side when you ain't did more?
Who was A side between Tank and Santa Cruz?
That ain't even
no.
That's not even a point to talk about with the ace. That bullshit.
Santa Cruz is more accomplished.
That bullshit.
Oh, but you said when has
I can't know. You said you can't debate with me. I can't debate with you. I can't debate with you.
You just asked me when has somebody who's been more accomplished been the B side. I'm telling you, Leo Santa Cruz.
What Leo Santa Cruz and Tank got to do with this?
You said, what was your question? Your question was, the person who's been the A side has always been the one more accomplished. I said, no. Look at Tank and Santa Cruz. Leo Santa Cruz was more accomplished, but he was not the A side.
Not the A side, though.
Exactly. So why is the same thing?
That's because
can I jump in real quick, man?
They made Tank the A side. They told you he was the A side because he was flawed. That's why. Tank ain't no damn superstar. He ain't no household name. He a superstar in boxing.
You told me to answer your question. I gave you an answer.
Right now and ask somebody who is Tank Davis, they ain't gonna know who the hell you talking about.
I know you didn't like the answer, but it was the right answer, and I gave you an answer. I told you there was. It has happened before.
Okay, you win.
Go ahead, Mark.
I just want to say I'm a little disappointed in Kano Loco. But K-Paso, homie, good to talk to you.
Good,
easy work
bro.
boxing. Easy work boxing. Easy work. Hey, look, nah, man, you ain't speaking no damn facts. Cut that shit out, man. You up there big capping, Dr. Seuss capping, man. And you caping,
bro.
You capping and you caping. And
Where
you repeat other people talking. Hold up, man. You repeating other people talking points and everything. Even the nicknames for the fighters you getting from other people. Like, come on.
Only
the
one name
shit.
I used. Only
come
one
on,
name.
Man.
That's all.
Nah, even the talking point. Nah.
Bro,
don't mute my mic. World Combat Sport. Don't mute my mic. Don't mute my mic. I'm gonna get this off. I'm not gonna let Kano Loco try to bully me, man. I know you a gangster down there in Florida. I ain't scared because I'm all the way over here and you don't know where I live. But before I get into this, man, shout out to everybody in the chat. Shout out to my man Easy Work Boxing. I think last time I talked to you, we was on Mike on Sports. Shout out to the host with the most, and AKA the Love Doctor, World Combat Sports. Thanks for having me on your show again. It means a lot to me and my audience, man.
You know what it is, man. So what Kano Loco say that you don't agree with?
Everything at the salute to the chat. I think he was off.
I mean, you got to be specific.
No. Okay,
like,
okay. I mean, look, shit. Hold on, man. Let me cook this bird. Let me see.
Okay. First of all, let's talk about what was mentioned from Terrence Crawford coming up to 47. He made a point about Terrence Crawford having the ability to go the IBF route because he's going to be mandatory.
What the receipt said? Let's start with that. Because let me say something. I'm gonna answer that first.
All right.
Let me answer that first. Like what Easy Word said, they told the man to get the belt. Now y'all say he could have fought for the IBF. If that's the case, so that means Usyk is the mandatory for Joshua's IBF right now. Why he didn't fight Joshua yet? I don't think Lopez is going up. I don't think Lopez. Huh?
They got time. They don't have to fight him right away. It's a time frame they have. You know what I'm saying?
You want to answer that, Marco? You're gonna let you cook.
Man, shit. As soon as I say a word, y'all keep cutting me off, but it's all good though.
Go ahead, bro. Go ahead, Mark. No, let Mark get it out. Easy work.
All right.
All I'm trying to say is this: You said who he fought. When you guys say somebody being the A side versus the B side, I'm gonna just say this: by going out publicly, I'm gonna just start here, and I'll just let y'all have it the rest. When Bud was calling out Errol heavy online, Errol hit him personally on his phone and basically said, "Man, stop doing that shit. I know you want the fight. We're gonna get the fight happening, but this ain't gonna get it." Bud came right back on IG and said, "Yeah, I just talked to Spence on FaceTime. We're gonna make the fight happen." And he stopped calling out Spence like that. Then the accident happened and things like that. All I want to say is this: we can't say the guy Bud is not focused. He's not who he said he was. He's never made no excuses. Every time I hear Spence, he got a different excuse. I wasn't focused for the Garcia fight. I wasn't focused for the Porter fight. The accident. No, man, let's stop calling it a straight accident. It was a DUI accident. Those things matter, man. Those are poor decision making in the ring, out the ring, training camp, whatever you want to call it. And I just want to end with this: the guy can't come out here publicly and say 60-40, because once you do that, you know pride is getting away, the fans getting in the way. You could call that man personally, you can talk to him personally. When you do things like that, you know, we all know what that is. And if he goes up to all this, we got here because we said if he goes up to 154 without fighting Crawford at 147, it's a duck. And that's all I got, man. I forgot everything I wanted to say, man. I should have wrote the shit down. Shit took forever to get in here anyway.
All right, now I'm gonna reply why Usyk, because like I said, when you're the champion at the lower weight, you have the right to request to be mandatory at the next weight class for whichever championship you want. If you do not request it, then no, you're not gonna be mandatory. It's not automatic. You have to request it, but once you request it, it has to be honored.
But I got this. Then if that's true, if Usyk was the undisputed cruiserweight champion, which means he had all belts, right? Like Terrence had all belts, right?
Correct.
What belt did he go get first? Or what is he in line for mandatory wise now?
He can request to be the mandatory for whatever belt.
What,
You asking me a damn question, you gonna let me answer?
You didn't you was trying, go ahead and answer.
He can request to be the mandatory for the IBF, WBA, WBO, WBC. It's up to him. He has to put in the request.
Okay, we understand that you made that point. Okay, but what is he in line for? What is he the mandatory title he's in line for right now?
I don't know. You tell me.
The WBO? See, that's what I'm saying. I've never heard what you were saying about they have a right to pick and choose what belt they should go after they're undisputed. I'm gonna have to
ask anybody that knows.
I've been watching boxing since I was 8 years old. I have never heard of that.
Okay.
Ever.
Okay.
Ever.
All right. I'm gonna let you be with that, man. But I know you can do it, and I know Scotty. I know this is your panel, but you know I'm telling the truth.
I'm not saying you're not. I just never heard of that.
That's okay, just take it. You never heard of. What are you trying to compare? I just want to know, what are you trying to compare to Usyk with the WBO route? Like,
it's the fact that the WBO aligns them, in my opinion, up for a title when they leave. I think that's the council or the belt council that allows them to go up and go for a belt if they're undisputed.
That's because automatic.
So if that's the case, why Usyk then go? Look, it don't make sense, because if Usyk said he wanted to pick any title, Joshua got him. So it wouldn't matter which belt he would have chose. Why did he choose for the WBO?
Well, Kubrat is the mandatory for the WBA.
I understand, but what I'm saying is, if Joshua holds 3 titles, it wouldn't have made a difference what he chose. He still would have had to run up on Joshua, right?
Yeah.
So, but why is it that
IBF, WBA, and WBO? Correct.
But why is he the mandatory for the WBO when he just left cruiserweight? Because the WBO, I think, is the title and the belt holders that allow them moving up to get a title first from being undisputed. The same way with Terrence. When he left 140, he came and got a WBO title at welterweight. When Usyk left cruiserweight, they lined him up for a title with the WBO heavyweight champion of the world. See, I never heard of this. oh, because I'm undisputed, I can pick. Oh, I want a WBC title. Oh, I want a WBA.
That was their choice.
I've never heard of that. But I will check into it. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But I've been watching since I was 8.
And how old are you now?
37.
Okay, I'm in my 50s.
Okay. But I've never heard that. Ever.
Well, I look at it like this. When it comes to A side, B side, we seen Gennady Golovkin, who had the belts, but Canelo Alvarez didn't have none, and he was the A side. So I don't put too much validity and weight into to A side, B side when it comes to freaking belts, because the shit is not consistent across the board. You know what I'm saying? When they had the first matchup, Canelo was the A side. That's why Gennady was all pissed off, like, what the fuck? Like, how can this be? It has a lot to do with the promotion, man, in my opinion. It has a lot to do with the promotion on who's the A side, B side.
Yes. Whoever the money behind, that's who they gonna say the A side. Basically.
Basically, that's that be Spence in this case.
And in certain, you could say that, but like
listen, man, we all want to see the fight. I want to see the fight. You want to see the fight. Everybody wants to see the fight. We all of us can agree at least on one thing. We want them to fight.
Yeah, we all want to fight.
Yeah.
I guess see that fight.
But who you got winning that fight, man?
Bud.
Okay.
Hands down. Easy fight.
When you say easy, you talking about decision or via stoppage?
Easy. I ain't gonna say necessarily. I can see Bud knocking the Spence out. Easy. Same way. Man, that's an easy fight for Terrence.
And by the way, Mark Nash, I know you ran off on me, man, but all the information that I said is on the internet. It's on, I mean, like the stuff I said about Terrence Crawford, he went live himself and did it on his live.
Who you think gonna win?
Mark Nash. It doesn't even matter. I'm not even gonna predict that fight until it's signed. That's where I'm at on it. I don't do this wishy-washy. One they sign, then I'll make a prediction. As of right now, neither one of them signed, so I'm not gonna, mess with it right now. But like I was telling Mark, since he ran off, all it is in there. I didn't make this up. Terrence Crawford went on live and said it himself. I'm just quoting what he said on his live that millions of people saw. Not just me, not just BFTV, because I know he's referring to BFTV, but this was out there before BFTV did his live.
Yeah, like y'all got me right on that. I didn't hear that part. You know what I'm saying? I was wrong. I admit when I'm wrong.
I just want to see the fight. I mean, I know I don't know. I don't know what it's going to take. I really don't. Now that I don't know the answer to. I don't know what it's going to take.
Spence. That's what it's going to take. Spence.
The one thing I can also add that Spence did, I mentioned on my live too, Connor, was the fact that he tried to sit up here and bring up Bob Arum's most recent comments. I don't want to talk about what Bob Arum said, but basically he was trying to highlight that Bob Arum mentioned that Terrence Crawford don't sell. He lost money on him. Why would Errol Spence bring up the bullshit if he really want to fight? He talking about the proof is in the pudding. Like, why would you caveat off a recent fight? He coming off a win off Kell Brook, and you want to talk about what Bob Arum has said. You should be talking more so about trying to make the fight, between you and Crawford. The same person that was going at you online, the same person that the public's been talking about with y'all. Why bring up another damn roadblock and say, hey, Bob Arum say he don't sell tickets. He lost enough money to build a house in Beverly Hills.
I'm not going to stoop to that level, man. I mean, that was kind of petty, man, the back and forth that was going on between the both of them, actually. But, man, I don't understand how Bud don't get out of that damn contract, bro, because, man, Bob disrespected him badly, man.
One good thing I say that's finna happen is the fact. Now, this one, time tells all. Time tells all. Terrence just got through fighting. Errol finna be done fighting after the 5th. This open space. This number add an opportunity to make this fight. Now, it's funny that right before it, because I mean everybody knows that this fight, after Errol's fight, they both got open areas for them to fight. But it's funny, before you even finish the fight with Danny Garcia, you come out and start hollering about 60-40. You ain't fought Danny yet. But now it's time for y'all to have an open area where y'all both can make a fight, and you the first person hollering out bullshit, talking about 60-40. But see, like I said, time tells all, because after the 5th, we gonna see who really want this fight and who don't. But of course,
but they asked him though. If they asked him, he's got to answer honestly, and honestly, he is the A side. I would have said 60-40 as well.
After the 5th, we gonna see what either one of them is talking about. After the 5th, both of them open. It ain't no reason, nobody lined up for no fights, nothing. Trust me, we will wait 6 months to see that fight. We will wait for Errol to heal up after the Danny Garcia fight, give him 2 months, and hey, Terrence already healing. We will wait 6 months for that fight. All right. So now we finna see what time it really is. And that's all I gotta say on.
I mean, you're saying all this, we will see, but Terrence Crawford, all he's talking about is Manny Pacquiao. He's not trying to make no deal with Spence next. He wants to fight Pacquiao next.
After the 5th.
Okay, you'll see. He's not going to get the fight with Manny Pacquiao, but that's who he's chasing.
Terrence was talking Manny Pacquiao because Spence already signed to Garcia. That's why I say after the 5th, we going to see. Manny Pacquiao is making music some goddamn well. Manny Pacquiao ain't worried about no damn box. Manny Pacquiao so well playing. He trying to be a senator, the president and shit. He ain't worried about fuck Manny Pacquiao. We talk these two niggas. And excuse my language saying niggas, but I'm just joking. You know, these two. We want to see them. And that is open season. After the 5th, we gonna see who really wants to.
Then you're gonna realize that Bud is really Reggie.
Whoever it is.
Damn.
Time gonna tell.
That's when you're gonna realize that Bud ain't loud. It's gonna be that Reggie.
We gonna see.
Just saying.
I'm just saying.
So you would rather them fight for unification instead of for undisputed? Shouldn't one of them go for Manny Pacquiao? Especially Bud?
I know, because see, they ain't doing them but holding up the process. Fuck the undisputed. They unify. Then they go after Manny. Whoever win, go after Manny Pacquiao. I don't want to wait no more. Because then whoever go fight Manny Pacquiao, we're going to have to hear some more about who they done fought, pay-per-view numbers. I'm the king. I got 3 belts. No, fuck that. Y'all got an open season right now. Manny Pacquiao ain't even talking about no damn boxing right now. Y'all got open schedules after the 5th. Make the motherfucking fight. Period. Now we gonna see is Crawford ducking. Now we gonna see is Spence ducking. That's all I'm saying. I don't give a damn about no Manny Pacquiao, because both of them will whoop Manny Pacquiao ass.
Right.
That's the belt they both gonna take. Them two, they got to get this. They got to get it.
I'm trying to tell you, Bud is focused on Pacquiao. I'm telling you what he's saying.
Hey,
he looking for that payday over there. Look, he just put it up here. Yeah, you're right. So we're going to forget that Bud just said he don't care if he fights Earl. He did say that. He said he doesn't need Earl for his legacy.
He don't.
Said. He said he don't need Earl. Earl need him.
Errol do need him. Terrence going down regardless in the books. He don't need. What makes Errol Spence the truth is beating Terrence Crawford. Terrence don't need to be proven he the truth. He already showed that. What solidifies Errol Spence is beating Terrence Crawford. Until then, he ain't the truth. And that's just not my eyes. That's the public's eyes. That's why the fight is so necessary to be made. That's why people are on it. People are pushing Spence to make this fight, because this fight solidifies Spence as the man. If he beats Crawford hands down, he is the pound for pound king.
Scotty.
He needs Crawford. Crawford could walk away and
Hey,
move
Scotty.
forward. He
Yeah, I'm
could walk
here.
away.
I'm listening.
Scotty, man, do me a favor, man. If this fight ever gets signed, bring this man back on here because I'm willing to bet him that Spence is going to annihilate and destroy Terrence Crawford. We're going to bet, and I'm not even a betting man.
Damn, annihilate. That's strong words. God damn.
No, hey, they both want the Manny Pacquiao fight, Mr. 21 Strong. Of course they both want that fight. They want that
that's money.
payday.
That's the Filipino nation right there.
They both want that fight. I didn't see what I'm saying. I mean, I'm just saying that the last person to talk about Pacquiao has been Bud Crawford, but obviously they both want to fight Manny Pacquiao. And if I was in their shoes, I would too to get that money. Shit, get that last belt out the way. Now let's fight. Boom.
But really, let me say this. I gotta say this, y'all, before I get off. Really, this the guy they gotta go see for the real WBA title is Ugas. That super belt shit, I don't like that. I don't like that.
Ugas is just the interim. He's just the interim though.
He got the real WBA title. Manny Pacquiao got the super welterweight title. That fake ass shit they created for Floyd.
Can I answer Mark Nash in the chat?
Go walk around with that fake ass WBC title. Yeah, he got to see Mr. Haney in order to say he undisputed. Them belts, them fake ass, them Gucci belts to me.
So you trying to tell me if he sits below, hey Mark, come back on here, man. You know, Kano has some.
No. He just said something on here. Who can Spence fight next if not Bud? Well, we already said Pacquiao, but you know what? That fight is more likely to happen than Bud and Pacquiao.
Yeah, they were Al Heyman.
But you're saying that Yordenis Ugas has legitimate and Manny Pacquiao has a secondary?
No, by boxing, this new modern era of boxing, Manny Pacquiao is the legitimate WBA champion, but he's carrying a fake ass belt that was made up for Floyd to duck Keith Thurman back in the day. So in my eyes, I consider the old WBA title the real belt, and the one who has that is Ugas. So in my opinion, I don't give a fuck who go and beat up on Manny Pacquiao. They still got to go and see Ugas, in my opinion, to be the real undisputed champion. See, this fake belt shit is fucking up boxing.
Well, the fake belt shit is really not, the having a power play, except when you come to the damn franchise belt. I know the WBA got damn 6 belts and shit. You know what I'm saying? But I'm more so talking about recent the franchise belt. You know how it affected the lightweight division and how it affected Canelo Alvarez just doing what the fuck he want to do. I mean, that's really where the belts are fucked up because Devin Haney has the real title, but it's being, diluted by the franchise belt now that Teofimo Lopez has. But anyway, what's going on, Mark?
Yo, can y'all hear me?
Yeah, Kano has something to tell you for you aborted mission.
No, man, this is my first time doing this on my phone. So I had my phone with me. I'm usually in the studio doing this, so I was in the back feeding the pets, and trying to be on the phone, fucking with them at the same time. Excuse my language. So yeah, I didn't run off though. I was just trying to get back on. Then my battery died, so it's just been a while.
Hey, Mark, I hear you, man. I'm hearing excuses like I'm hearing excuses like EJ.
Support, man.
Hey, go ahead, Kano. What you had to say?
Nah, I already said what I had to say, man. Shoot, he said something about. I already answered this question. He said, "Who can Spence fight next if not Bud?" And I just said Pacquiao because both of them are going after Pacquiao, and it's more likely that Spence will get Pacquiao. That's all.
Let's say now one of them get Pacquiao. Who can they fight other than each other that the people really want to see?
Then you got to fight. Then there's no excuses on neither one of the sides. Then, in my opinion,
I'm gonna be honest. Do you really want to see Spence fight Thurman next, coming off the Pacquiao loss?
Man, Spence ain't gonna fight no Thurman. Thurman don't deserve shit.
Hell no, Thurman don't deserve shit.
I mean,
and I'm a fan of Keith Thurman. He don't deserve nothing. He ain't running nothing but his damn mouth.
Well, let me ask y'all this. So what does Bud deserve?
As far as what?
No, Bud, look, I don't hate Bud. I don't know why these folks over here in the chat saying that people hate on Bud. Nobody hate Bud. Okay.
I think Bud deserve a lot for being a 3-division undisputed, man. Come on, I think he
I
deserves a
mean,
lot.
when you call him stuff like
at
Reggie, when you
47,
say
man.
he's Reggie, man, people think
Well,
that comes across like
okay. Well,
I'm just saying,
I
is that
mean,
true? That's not a compliment.
no, it ain't a compliment, but I ain't hating the man either. I'm just, having a little fun,
We didn't
man.
call EJ no kind of nicknames though, like the crack jokes. When we damn sure ain't crack no jokes in this
y'all in your
recordings. I'm
feelings.
just saying,
Y'all in your feelings now. Y'all in your feelings
no,
now, man.
no.
I know y'all wore
No,
panties
you made
up
a
in here, bro.
statement. You made a statement. I
ain't
called
know
you
we
on
wore
it, and now I'm in
panties
my
now.
feelings. You made a statement. I called you on it. Now I'm in my feelings. Come on, man. Let's not do that.
All right, man. All right, bet.
But you did make a good point earlier. I don't know who asked this question. They said something. I don't remember how it was worded. You said somebody being when was somebody a B side or an A side, or who got. You brought Tank and Leo. It was kind of breaking up because that's when my phone was losing.
Oh, okay. No, he asked me since when has somebody that's the most accomplished not been to A side? And I say Tank and Leo is the most recent one in memory right now because Leo was more accomplished than Tank at that time of making that fight, and Tank was A side. I just gave him
hold on.
one
Let me
example.
ask you this: Why did you say Tank was the A side? And Tank had to come down and wait to fight Leo. I never heard of an A side losing weight and coming down to fight somebody.
You don't think Tank Davis got more money than Leo did on that fight?
When you Google it, it says Leo got paid 1.5, Tank got paid $1 million. Plus, they both get 50% of the pay-per-view buys. According to Google and different articles. But more importantly, when have you heard of an A side coming down in weight to fight a B side? It would from the outside appearing, it would look like Tank needed a name on his resume, and he went down to fight somebody. Some would say Leo was the A side, especially, you seen all them people he brought out in Texas. You know what I'm saying? He has a big Mexican fan base. He's been a champ longer. More divisions. So some would say Leo was the A side. He got paid 1.5 because you got to pay him to take that ass whipping. You get what I'm saying? You got to pay him for that uppercut. So I disagree with you on that. I was on another panel at one point and they was talking about it. I was like, damn, that's a good point. I need to put that in my notes. I didn't even think of it that way. You're right. I never heard of that, but I will shoot you some bail on this. Pacquiao had won more divisions than Mayweather. The only thing Mayweather had going for him was those pay-per-view gates and that O. But Pacquiao was an 8-division champion when he fought Mayweather.
And who was
more divisions had a lot of champions on his resume. So some would say he was more accomplished, other than being undefeated. And he was still the
Mayweather was
B-side.
exactly. That's my point.
So that's what I'm saying. I'll shut you some bail. Like that's what I'm saying. I get where you're coming from, but that example you use, I think that one might be a little skewed.
But it might have been more.
Floyd was the A side because he never lost,
and that's fair. I get it. But as far as this situation with Bud, I just feel like, and I'm gonna just say it, I feel like fans hate Bob Arum so much, and they love Al Heyman. So we praise those guys and we shit on Bob Arum. I don't know it's because he's just a white guy. We don't like what he did with Floyd. We don't like how he did with Ali and certain fighters in the past. So we don't look at Bob like we look at Al Heyman. We look at Al Heyman with enamored. He's enamored. He's hidden. We don't hear him speak that much. Versus, we know for a fact Bob Arum has admitted to corruption. He has admitted to buying judges. He has admitted to paying off refs and commissions. So it's a lot of things with Bob Arum, but you're gonna get that when you're about 80 plus years old and you've been in the business about 50 plus years. You get what I'm saying? It's gonna be some dirt, but I think Bud gets a lot of those bullets because people hate, quote unquote, the white man. And I'm gonna just say it. Fuck it.
Well, I hope you exclude me out of that because I'm not part of that.
Not you. But some of those narratives that you said and some of those talking points, I hear it on other channels who I feel they feel that way. So I'm not pointing no fingers at you directly, and I'm not speaking for the whole boxing community. But the narrative that I get when I'm floating around is, we don't like the white guy.
I'm gonna leave y'all with something to talk about before I get off because I gotta go get in the shower and leave right quick, y'all. But just check this out, and people gonna think I'm crazy, but I ain't crazy. Andy Ruiz versus Anthony Joshua was fucking rigged from jump. And I just want y'all to go look at it
You
I
can't
mean,
say
I'm
that
thinking
and
that
just
if you're
not give us
talking about it was
nothing.
rigged, I think it was rigged just so Anthony Joshua can become a 2-time unified heavyweight champion, so he
There
can
you
have more
go.
stock.
There you go. Now, that's what I'm talking about. I called my brother about this, and I saw the remake, and I'm like, I've never seen a champion let another fighter hold their titles.
Correct.
Then he said
Correct.
something like, I'm the champion until the night of the fight. I was like, what the fuck? What champion would say some stupid shit like that? And then the stars they bring Sylvester Stallone and all them making the epilogue to it. And I said, man, this shit was rigged, man. But I thank y'all for inviting me on the channel. You know
I
what I'm
don't
saying?
know
I
about
thank
that.
y'all. I had a good talk with y'all, man. I will try to be back. I didn't know I could actually get back on because I'm in YouTube jail. But World Combat, man, keep doing your thing. I see you shining, man. You got some great topics. Mark, I love that music, man. What's his name? I can't see his name, even though we disagreed. It was nice talking to you, bro.
I'm a loco.
Thank y'all, man, for letting me on. I'm out.
Yeah,
Hey,
you
Loco,
always
good
welcome,
dude,
man.
man. Follow his channel, man. Easy work. He was wrong
Will
as
do.
two boys fucking today, but he normally a good dude, man, and he normally on point.
All right, y'all.
How was he wrong and Kano was wrong? Who was right then? What are you talking
No,
about,
I
bro?
said no. You ain't hear me good before you came in. You tried to play me. I told Easy Work. I said follow Kano Loco. He a good dude. He's normally on point, but he was wrong today.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you was on Kano hard, but hey,
No,
man, it
It's all
happened.
good, man.
look, I couldn't even get on him. My phone dropped off, and then he killed me when my phone dropped off. But now I'm back. Loco. What up, though?
Hey,
Bro, you
man,
can't
what
get
up?
on here with a flip phone, dog. You got to get
Hold
one that's
on,
up to standard, dog.
Now you know
man.
I got the trap phone for you, man.
Hey,
Yeah,
Mark
no,
sound like he grew up in Detroit with that what up, though? What up, though?
Hey, look, man. I'm global, man. I'm
Marco,
a
that
soldier.
feeling good. He feeling good today for some reason.
Man, I'm in here. Man, look, man, you started with a boxing morning show this morning, man. We talking about boxing first thing in the morning. I woke up, the sun is shining. I got my beautiful daughter here. I'm cooking breakfast. I'm feeding the pits over here, man. Every day's a good day till you miss one.
But Mark, man, I want to clear something up, man. I always have my own opinion on based on a subject. I never go off of nobody else's. The thing about it is, though, is that a lot of us have similar takes on the same subject. That's where that gets misconstrued and stuff. Because if you look at anything on my channel, I'm very consistent that I say that stuff. You know, like, hey, this person may agree with me, this person may not agree with me. This is an opinion coming out of my own mind and doing my own research. Now, when I talked about moving up in weight, being able to you don't automatically become the mandatory. You have to request it. But once you request it, it gets approved. They must fight you or vacate. That's the reason you don't see that a lot being used. They have to request it, Mark. It's not an automatic thing.
Okay, see, I thought earlier you were saying it was automatic, and I'm gonna let you know, I'm one of those guys. I would not argue up and down about some shit that I don't know just off of I feel you might be wrong. I'll just do my lookup. But what I do understand is that's what happened with Jamal Charlo when he had the WBC. I know WBC does that. I know the WBO does that. Like when you moving up in weight, you get the first, like you drop that WBC. Let's say you had the 154. When you go up to 160, you got one fight, and after that, you're the mandatory. And that's how Jamal Charlo got his 160 WBC so fast because he came up from being the 154 champ. So I get it. I know certain. I just thought the IBF didn't do that, but I didn't. You said if you're undisputed, it's automatic.
No. I said
I mean, if all you got to do is fill out an email.
Right. If he's undisputed, he has the right to request that, and they always get approved. It's just a matter of you having to request it. Now, if the person doesn't request it, then no, obviously it's not going to happen, But that's why I say he had a choice to do that.
I get it. But let me shoot Terrence some bell. Now, if he goes up and fights Spence for the IBF, right, with no title in hand, he's definitely gonna be the quote unquote B side. But if he goes up and fights him with the title for unification, because it would have been IBF versus the WBO at the time, that would have been a bigger check for both of them. I think, fighting for, if I got the WBO,
they
you
had
got the
one
IBF.
apiece. Correct.
Yeah, because
they
at
had
the time,
one apiece.
and that's what they were telling him: go get the belt, go get a belt. And all I'm saying is this, man. This is my main point. For anybody who says this guy is scared of that guy or vice versa, I don't think none of these guys are scared of each other. They're professionals. They've been fighting since they were kids. Most of these guys know each other, but nobody wants to get embarrassed. But I'm gonna say this: if my neighbor My neighbor, Lil Mario across the street, had a WBC title belt or a WBO belt. Guess who about to be the champion fight him? Me. I'm gonna go knock on his door, I'm gonna beat him up, and I'm gonna take that belt off his front porch if I have to, or his backyard. Because I know I can beat him.
But there's no
I just
middleman
find
from you to
my
your
thing-
neighbors.
my-
No middleman.
No, let me just finish this part. That's what I mean, though. Prior to, I get what you're saying. That probably was a poor analogy, but my point was prior to Bug in the WBO, everybody wanted to fight Horn for that WBO because they knew he was easy picking.
Correct.
But when Bug got the belt, nobody wanted to fight it. Keith Thurman was calling it the WB No. He called it the WB No belt. Now he loses his title. He want to fight it. Sean Porter wasn't trying to fight him. Now he loses his belt. Now he want to fight it. You know what I'm saying? Sean Porter talking like he want to go up and fight Charlo. He just want to be a champ. You know what I'm saying? Champs get a different payday. Like, I don't see Sean Porter beating Charlo at 154. But hey, I get it. You want a championship type purse. Like,
I mean,
come
also when
on,
you're
man.
a single division champion too, these guys are on a freaking backtrack. I mean, a fast track on the backside of their career too. You got to look at single division champions. You got Errol Spence and Sean Porter and Keith Thurman. The only one that's in there in multi-time division right now that's a top name is Manny Pacquiao and Terrence Crawford.
And that's saying something, man. That's saying something. And people can say who you fought, who you didn't fight. ASAP. I get it, man. The guy has 2 belts at 147. But in the sport as a whole and over the whole span of a career, man, I hate when people just don't give a dude Crawford. Because look, man, I'm not one of these guys going to tell you Crawford is doing things good when he's doing things bad just so I can say I support him. Same thing, people used to kill me about Obama with that. It was like, you black, you don't support everything you do. I was like, man, I don't support everything my mama do. Okay? And I came out her coaching, for lack of a better word. Come on, man. I don't agree with people just to say I'm loyal to them. No, if you're wrong, you're wrong. So, but this fight has to happen. That's all I'm saying. I hate the fact that all the pressure goes on one fighter. Like, Errol Spence has only fought 3 undefeated fighters. All right? In his career, he fought 3 of them. It was Mikey Garcia, somebody 13 fights ago, and on his 13 fights, and then Campos. He didn't knock out Mikey Garcia. We act like he didn't fight little Mikey and should have stopped him. Like, Sean Porter is a great fighter. Nobody has an easy fight with Sean Porter, but Errol Spence, come on, man. You said you didn't stop him. Move, Butter. Move. You said you didn't stop him because you wasn't focused. We never heard Bud Crawford say he wasn't focused, wasn't getting up for a fight. Let's just give a man the credit for at least his history and his record. He never made no excuses for not getting nobody out there. And he gets hit, but he gets hit because he goes in there trying to get these guys out of there. I just don't see nothing in Bud Crawford that has slipped or feathered away. And the fact that we even saying stuff like, we got to see what happens and how Spence looks on Saturday to see how he'll do with Bud. Why? Why? Because he got in a DUI accident, right? We don't know how the damage held up. They had to put his face back together. I get it. I understand it. But you can't say all of that and not give the other guy the credit for always showing up. And he's knocked out everybody he's faced since he came up there. And the last thing I want to say, Loco, you said name a top such and such fighter that he fought since he been 147. Hey man, he's fighting his number 1 contenders. He beat Jeff Horn, who was a champ, coming off his biggest win ever. The biggest upset of that year was Pacquiao. He beat Jeff Horn. Now, you can say all you want to about Jeff Horn did dirty tactics, elbows, headbutts with Pacquiao. He was robbed. He couldn't do that to Terrence Crawford. Terrence Crawford, he tried the same thing, elbows, heads, and all that. Terrence Crawford just wasn't going for it. Just get a man his flowers, man, because one day he's going to be gone, and we're going to look back and be like, damn, we had to go. That's my time.
Hey, people. It's been a pleasure, man. I gotta go pick up moms, man, for real. Damn, it was getting good too. But I appreciate y'all comments, everybody that was in the live chat, man. Everybody that's pulled up. We will see. This ain't the last time we'll talk about, Danny Garcia and everything. But solid points made by the panel. Easy work, Cono Local Sports, Mark Nash, and World Combat Sports. We ain't gonna never agree in boxing. That's just what it is. You're not gonna have dialogue where you agree all the time. So we have to wait to see how this plays out. and everything. And I gotta go pick moms up, man. Y'all hold it down. Turn up and tune in to World Combat Sports. Salute.
Yes, sir.